Well, good evening everyone and welcome to this market update. It's 22nd August 2022. Didn't do one of these last week. Had the week off. To be honest, it's been a bit boring. We've been waiting for this wave 2 of the primary wave count to turn. Or is it minor wave? I think it's primary. Anyway, and it looks like we have finally found a turning point. So the last few weeks, pretty much every video, we've just been looking for this wave 2 area to end. We've ended up having a 5-wave movement in a wave C of 2 to be complete. So if you look at these markings, you'll see it's minute wave, minute, and then these are minor waves, and then this is an intermediate wave. So that's how it works. There's waves within waves within waves, and each wave has one larger or one smaller to the next degree. So if you look here, just do this wave count as an exercise. You can see there's the very top. The top happened on the 4th of January 2022 when we got this very small type doji. Then on the 5th we had some volume to the downside, closed bearish, made this lower high. So at that point you're like, yep, we failed to make a higher high here. We've pushed up and then dropped significantly for this wave 3, which, remember, in the Elliott wave theory, wave 3 is always the longest wave within the 5 waves. So you have 3 to the downside and 2 pullback waves in the overall trend. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and within wave 3 you can have 5 waves as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you wouldn't count that on that time frame. It's a daily chart, but I suspect if you went to a 4-hour you'd see a 5 wave within this wave 3 here. But this is a daily chart and this is how I've marked it out for now. So it's not really relevant for the 4-hour, but we'll look at that in a moment. Wave 2 and then wave 3 here, 4, 5. Now we've had this ABC, we're finding the turning point. And if you look, originally we were looking at this area at 4183.50. Was around here and then it moved up higher. We broke through that and made another high, respecting this end of April, beginning of May price action, popping up a bit higher but overall rejecting it. And if you look at that on a weekly chart, look where it rejected. 0.618 Fibonacci, the golden ratio. Perfectly rejects with the wick, open, close, closing the week after 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks to the upside, and this week we're getting some follow through here. So is this a possible turning point? If it is, expect this to move quite quickly with a fair amount of momentum, because this will be wave 3, and within wave 3 you'd have 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these are just some targets I'm sort of looking at. First zone we looked at was the 0.618. If we look at the monthly chart, that was the first range we were looking at for this next wave down, 2950. And you can see that I've got this down at 0.786 for wave 3 being the longest wave, possible negative 40%. Pullback 2025 for wave 4. And no, that's not the time frame, that's just arrows as a guide, just for a bit of, sit in front of the charts and just sort of play out scenarios so you're prepared if and when it gets there. Because wave 4, that could take some months, especially if it's complex. And then wave 5 down onto 2176, which is the March 2020 low. Now this could go much lower because remember that whole sequence there, now see the top, so that's intermediate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of intermediate. Now of intermediate you have primary wave is the next degree to the upside. Therefore that whole 5 wave sequence of intermediate waves would be wave 1 of primary wave 1. So that's how it works. So that's, many months just for wave 1 of primary degree to play out. Then you'll be having 2 and then 3, which you'd expect into next year. So this is just the beginning of this possible drop. A lot of people have, well, I don't know, polls are saying people are bearish. However, overall inflows and percentage of cash holdings in people's accounts relative to their overall portfolio is actually very low. So people maybe are reporting incorrectly based on compared to what they're actually doing. Not sure. But if this is wave 3, and my bias is that currently that it is, and it has been, because in the last videos, as I've mentioned, I've been waiting for this intermediate wave 2 to be complete, and once complete we're having wave 3, and as we saw it's rejected perfectly off 0.618, which is a common retracement area for wave 2. So let's see. Anyway, let's start now with gold. Now gold, we're looking for this intermediate wave 2 pullback with an ABC. You can see the B is coming down back into 1730, which was an area we were watching for a pullback. Let's see, otherwise if we break that, will we get down? And if, for those that just for interest's sake, that level is a bit above 0.618 Fibonacci for reference. And you can see the top 1760 is 0.382. So let's see if that respects that area, making wave B, and then you get a 5 waves to the upside for this intermediate wave 2 and wave C, and 5 waves within that. Possible pullback region as I've mentioned, 1878, and then you'd expect, if that's wave 2 complete, you'd have wave 3 to the downside, 4 up, 5 down. So gold could really sell off as the market sells off, and you'd expect that because if this is coming into a longer term bear market, pretty much everything will sell off. As I've said before, I'm not invested in the stock market. I'm pretty much predominantly in cash at the moment. I've even sold out of crypto. Some weeks ago I've been taking profits with those 20-30% moves to the upside after buying in at those lows, because I'm expecting a lower move with the overall movement of the stock market, because crypto tracks the stock market, so there's a high probability that it will continue lower. So looking for this reversal now, continuation for wave 2 in gold. Level to change and review 1681. We break that, reassess, need to recount and look to see what will happen next. Because obviously you broke the previous low, it can't be an ABC, and it can't be this 5 wave complete, so you reassess and go from there. Silver much the same, looking for this wave B to be complete, this wave CF2 up into 21,800, 22.57. Critical level 18.68, break that, we come and reassess like gold. Oil, still looking for this to trend continue the downside. Once this moves here is over, and possibly as the stock market sells off and most things sell off, we can get a bit more momentum with the volatility in US oil. UK oil much the same. Now the dollar, this is interesting. Now this level at 108.316 I had marked in, and look at this. Let's put on the magnetic tool to be precise. To the high, to the low. Pull it across. You can see that that line is just above 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. So that's the highest area I was watching for this DXY to have a pullback and break that. We're breaking this high to make a higher high, as I've said here, and then we'll reassess. For now, if we reject this, come pull back lower to this area. Well, I was watching 101.622 to 101.297. Wait and see. Could make a new high because people will be selling stocks and going into cash US dollars. We could be going to 120, or new high, pull back and then continue. Yields, we've had this pullback the last few weeks, still trending lower short term, looking for it to come lower again, and you'd expect that because if people are looking for safety because there's fear in the market, people usually invest in bonds. Now Dow Jones, much the same as the futures chart I showed back of the Elliott wave count, and all the indexes have coordinated with each other and had their wave 2s, which you'd expect, so they've all confirmed each other. There was a delay between some of them by a few days, but that's how you sort of see the sick of the market, if they're confirming or not confirming each other. And currently they're all starting to reverse, showing signs of the wave 2 to be complete, this ensuing wave 3. So Dow Jones here, we pulled higher up into 34,164.20, which if you look at this is beautiful. Look at that. 0.618, so nice. Market hasn't even opened yet. Look how it closed last week. Now that candle, you cannot get much more bearish than that, except if it closed orange. but that momentum, it was absolutely slammed down into that 0.618 level. So let's see if we follow through, and currently we're showing that we are. We're down over 1% for the day, and we've gapped lower for a Monday. And we were watching for this pullback, but we just continued higher, and what happens is a lot of the bears get scared out, but a lot of the bulls can get a bit too greedy too soon, because look, we are 8.8% off the high, and people are saying new all-time highs by the end of the year, whereas down here we're just short of 20%. S&P cash index, you expect that. We came back up into the May 5 highs, May or end of April, and we're turning around now. Nasdaq, we went up higher, but we're turning around. Russell went higher. So looking at this next region here, we turned around. Long bond, we've pulled back. Let's see how this eventuates. You'd expect if bonds are bought, this will continue to the upside, because it's inverse of the yields. So this goes down, this will go up. And volatility is up 11.85%, which is pretty significant. Let's see, 20, 30, even 40, 50%. I've seen on the VIX back here. 08 wasn't trading then, but if we look here, March 2020, yeah, 30s, even as high as 70s, 80s. So let's see, and let's have a quick look now at crypto. Now XRP sold off, which I was hoping for. I've taken a fair bit of profit, bought around these regions, sold up around here, say 24%. Back to cash, looking for a lower movement. Bitcoin selling off. Ethereum close the month like that. It's pretty bearish. So let's see. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Stay safe out there. Expecting some big moves in the market the coming weeks as we come in August, September. People in the Northern Hemisphere been on holidays, so it's their summer, so get back, settle in back to work for the autumn to come in, and this possible wave 3. So as I mentioned, I'm in cash pretty much. Got a little bit of crypto still, and I'm going to be shorting, obviously. I have to have a short in, a couple of shorts there, so because yeah, wave 3, some big moves, and that I feel it's a high probability based on what I'm seeing in the charts. Anyway, take care, till next time, see you.